What's up, everybody? I have to start this video by saying thank you again. Like the last three videos have done well relative to what normally happens on my channel. And each of them, like, I hate it because one, the autofocus wasn't working on the camera. The last one, I know it did well because the event I actually vlogged, but it's like I'm on my phone, the audio's trash. But anyway, that just proves that put content out, and I'm happy to just put stuff out. And I have a lot of content that I've recorded over the years, and a lot of it never makes it to YouTube. And there's a lot of different reasons why. Story time. Unfortunately, the footage that you're about to see got kind of shoved to the side, and I said I would never post it because I was really happy when the BMW was purple. Like when people saw it, even when the BMW guys saw it, they were like, hey man, that looks dope. Like it was cool. So it was hyper risky to take the purple off, but it was all a part of a plan. And I never shared my full plan or my vision on YouTube until right now. There was 4 different things that we planned to do to Plain Jane. The first thing I did is I actually sourced a GT3 carbon body kit for it. Go Google it, or maybe I'll insert a picture of it, but it was actually during COVID, they canceled the series. The US team had 2 body kits that they keep just like in stock because, you know, they have accidents, issues, and it was a full carbon body kit. It's a Flossman body kit that was meant for a true GT3 car, and that's the only way I would wide body the car. So before we wrap this, I told the guys at EVS, like, that was the plan. And they were like, we're on board. But one of the things that I did on top of that was I felt like there's no way that I can do a GT3 body kit without having real power. So what I said was, even though I have all the performance upgrade, if you haven't seen those videos, go watch those videos. This is a full bolt-on, everything you could think of with a stock bottom end. I wanted to push the envelope. But honestly, like most shops, they make their money, and I'm not saying EMG specifically, I'm saying shops. They make their money off of like turnover. You know, it's like a restaurant. You got to turn tables. It's even like the business I manage. Like turning volume is what makes you money. Passion projects don't make you money. So like the goal was to build at least 1,000 horsepower capable car, single turbo, and do something that's like on the edge of innovative, but we weren't going to try to push it. They've built the car. They built the car. Nigo's car is on the edge of innovative. But one of the things that's tricky is when a shop has to, like those guys, they're just paying their bills, like they're running a successful business. But to do that, you have to do maintenance. You have to do brake jobs. You have to do, you know, regular stuff. Like you can't spend too much time. Like this is like off hour stuff for them to build 1,000 horsepower passion project. So I said, well, what we'll do in my mind, I'm thinking, well, we'll just subcontract some of the long lead items, like building a turbo manifold. So I said, hey, look, I have a guy that I found on Instagram that can build a turbo manifold, so we'll go to him. Unfortunately, he's a scammer, and he still owes me $1,500 because I paid him to build a manifold, and he still hasn't. And it just goes against my like moral constitution to put somebody on blast on YouTube. I'll have to figure out a means to either get my money back or delivery of the part, and I'm patient because I have time. So I'm not gonna spend time on that, but that didn't happen. And due to some other things, I became, I would say not frustrated, but I realized that it wasn't gonna come together. The GT3 body kit wasn't gonna come together. The 1,000 horsepower build really wasn't gonna happen in the time frame that I had in my mind, and I kind of allotted a year to make it happen, and within a year, there was 0 progress. So I said, hey, call it, it's cool. No hard feelings. EMG, amazing people, like they were able to refund me my deposit, which some shops would say, hey, look, you know, restocking fees. No, they worked it out. They gave my money back in full, which I really appreciate. Still go visit those guys all the time. And I have to figure out how to get my money from JP Works because he owes me. But enough on that. But the next show season was coming up. And I wanted to, had all these big ideas like, okay, I'm not gonna do the GT3 body kit. I'm not gonna be able to do the 1,000 horsepower build. What can I do to keep the car fresh? Even though I love the purple, I love the gold wheels. So fortunately, I met a guy that was parting out his F80, which is the 4-door version. And he had some wheels that I always admired. Super aggressive on the offset, which means they poked way out. He was a fender to lip guy. Matter of fact, he was lip outside of fender. When he aired out, like his lip would sit outside of the fender. Got the wheels from him and they needed some work. And I asked around and I found these people that could do it. Long story short, I've talked about them on the podcast, but they basically stole the wheels, essentially. I paid them $1,500 to repair and powder coat the wheels. I spent a little over $2,000 on tires. And to make it to a show, they put together the wheels backwards. So even talking to Joe and the guys at Tire 59, they're like, hey, they need to make this right. So yeah, I would just take them back to him. Well, I took them back to him, was like, hey, the wheels are backwards. And I'm not gonna explain that to everybody. You can figure it out. They just didn't fit on the car right. And that was in April of 2022. And it's about to be April of 2024. Doesn't answer my phone calls, doesn't answer my DMs. I hope everything's okay for him because I don't wish evil on anybody, but he stole my $1,500 and stole my wheels. So there's two people that I would say haven't done what I would expect them to do. And I don't think I have unfair expectations. This video isn't about that, but I just wanted to express what my vision was when I wrapped this car Celestial Unicorn. It wasn't supposed to just be wrapped on the same wheels. This is like the third, well, really the second iteration of what I imagined the car to be. And that's kind of why I fell off on YouTube a little bit. I fell off on doing stuff on the car. It's just because it's a little difficult. It's difficult. And it's why me and my daughter now want to have our own shop, because paying people clearly isn't enough. Being a good guy, being fair, being understanding isn't enough. Like, you just have to do it yourself. And I have the ability to do stuff myself. It's just, I don't always have the time to deal with this. Like, you expect people to do what you pay them to do. And each one of these vendors I'm talking about, none of them can say anything bad about me because I paid them up front. I trust them and I give them my money. I just say, hey, here's my plan. Here's my vision. Here's the money. And a lot of them have failed me. But no hard feelings, not spreading any bad on anybody. I feel like everybody goes through stuff. Businesses make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I just hope they make it right. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. I didn't plan to talk this long because people probably won't make it past this part, so I might break it up so there's things to see. But it's just some truth about, like, it's fun to customize cars. It's fun to do anything. And I'm sure if you are at any point in your life, whether it's, I mean, we've done stuff to our home, landscaping, building a pool, like all the things you can think of, it doesn't always go smoothly. And I feel like it's about how you respond to that, like how you deal with that is an opportunity for me personally to give a witness to people, because I feel like, you know, people judge you when you don't get your way. People, if they think they're taking advantage of you, good on them, is what I say, because nobody can take advantage of you, only if you let them. But people can definitely make mistakes. And I feel like you shouldn't judge people for their mistakes. You can only judge them for how they handle themselves after they've been exposed for their mistake. So we'll see. We'll see if JP works or Ad 713 makes it right with me. Maybe they won't. Maybe they are scammers. Maybe they stole my stuff. And, you know, we got ways of solving those issues too. And I mean, through the legal system. I'm not a tough guy. But anyway, enjoy the video. And there's going to be more videos like this because I have so much footage, guys. I have so much footage where it's like, it just didn't make the cut because the plan didn't come together. But I'm going to start releasing this stuff because I think you guys will enjoy it. Yeah, and I really appreciate the support on the most recent video. Oh, all the videos, not just the most recent stuff, on all the videos. So enjoy it. And I'm not going to come back, so we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. The last time I was at EVS, we were wrapping the car purple. Actually, it was finished purple. And I wanted to get you guys a reveal video, but we wanted to show some behind the scenes too. Sean and these guys, this was their idea and they crushed it. Look at this thing coming together. There's gonna be some people that say, why'd you take the purple off? Well, this is why. As you guys saw in that reveal video, this is unmatched. And it's rare. That's the cool thing about it. But having 3, 4, 5 different colors, you guys tell me in the comments, how many different colors can you see there? It says you move it. One thing I will say too is when I saw the wrap, the pictures don't do it justice. And it's one thing that's really tricky. It looks cool in pictures, but in person, there's so much metallics, not metal flake. I keep thinking metal flake, but there's so much metallic and it looks gorgeous. It's something I just caught. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pick it up on camera. I'm gonna show you guys like how much it matches actually like the hardware. I did Downstar hardware inside the under the hood. So look at this real quick. I hope you can kind of see. You see that little piece of hardware in there, that purplish? I just think it works. The other interesting thing is when they took the purple wrap off, I forgot how good the gray is, man. This car is clean, it's in good shape. One issue that we did have, which I expected, we had somebody paint the front bumper when we first brought it back out with all the carbon on it, and they didn't do a good job. So Ted and the guys are gonna repaint it. They actually have a body shop too, so that's gonna be repainted, and we're gonna slap the bumper back on. But this thing is gonna look so cool. One other thing that you guys may have noticed from the video, the reveal, is that we had a black roof before. So we switched that this time. We're actually gonna go to wrapping the roof the same color as the rest of the car. I just think it's gonna look amazing. Well, at this point, I think it's gonna look amazing, but what you guys just saw in the beginning of this is the finished product. So you let me know what you think. How amazing does it look actually? Oh, and look at this. The gold wheels. Let's look back over here actually. When you look at the gold wheels on the car, it actually doesn't look bad with the gold wheels. I thought it would look terrible, but it doesn't. I love it. And you know what? We got to get this redone. The trunk has to be refinished, but we're gonna come back in a couple days and show you guys when the car has probably one side done, the whole driver's side. When that's completely done, we'll show you guys that. Hope you love the wrap. You have to see this in person. You can't judge it off this video because I can't film. Richard does a wonderful job filming, but you have to see this in person to really appreciate it. Told you guys we come back to show you how it looks, and it looks pretty cool. Check this out. We're still missing the bumper. I still needed some body work. As some of you guys know, when you wrap a car, I had crappy paint on it, like I told you when I was here a few days ago. So that paint peeled from some of the adhesive that was on the wrap. So they're refinishing that, painting it. We'll slap it back on and get the front bumper wrapped, but the rest of the car is done. And I must say, this color. The one thing I will say that's interesting about it, in pictures and in video, it really doesn't do it justice. You have to see this in person. One of the things I showed when I did my last reveal is the door jamb. So we decided to leave them the midnight purple. I just didn't feel the need to rewrap those. It's a lot of work. They have to take the doors off, so a lot of labor and a lot of time and a lot of cost. One thing I'll be honest about is this wrap is significantly more expensive than a midnight purple, so I wanted to save on time and material, obviously, but I'm so happy with the way it turned out. Now, one thing I will say too, and I think I mentioned this the other day, I'm surprised that these wheels do not clash as much as I thought they would. I thought the wheels would look horrible, but I mean, it's not ideal. It's not the same as the setup that you guys seen, but if I need to or want to, I can still switch it up and run the BC Forge wheels, which is really cool to me. One other thing I want to point out is how the forged carbon looks. So one thing the purple did is it really made the forged carbon pop. I think the same thing happens here. You guys comment below. Let me know how many colors you actually see in this wrap. I see at least 5. I see gold, I see pink, I see blue, I see purple, and actually there's like a copper color, like a greenish copper color.
I'm gonna try to give you guys a couple montages of it, and we'll probably come back and do another little small excerpt when we have the front bumper on, sitting out front. Probably still be on the gold wheels, because we're still waiting for the new wheels to come in, but I'm really happy with how it looks, guys. Oh, and I have to say, shout out to the guys at EVS. They do such a wonderful job. And I don't know if we'll rewrap this one. I'm probably ready to move on to a new project now, a new build, a new car. Still keeping this. This is probably it in its final form, I think. And hopefully we'll have some engine stuff coming up. We just ordered a turbo manifold, all that stuff going, so you guys will see some future videos with the EMG guys. We're building this to try to make, you know, some horsepower. We don't know what we're going to make. But anyway, so, man, I'm excited about it. Comment below again, how many colors do you see in a wrap? And call my bluff if you think this is actually done. Oh, one other thing I wanted to point out. Was we did the GTS tail lights. And actually, we'll drop in some pictures of the comparison here, so you can see the difference between the OEM tail lights. Now, this being a 2015, it had the older style tail light, and I didn't like the LCI. For people that don't know, the LCI, they did like a mid-period refresh on the headlights and the taillights. And as you guys know, I went with the Mod Emporium headlights a couple years ago, which really freshened up the look of the car, made it look newer. But I kept the older taillights because I didn't think the LCI taillights really made that much of a difference for the cost. I was kind of against the GTS taillights because they're basically Alibaba, eBay, Amazon for like $500, $400. But they actually look cool, and we'll light them up for you guys and show you what they look like. Let me know what you guys think about those. If I can get the camera to focus, I think they look pretty cool. I don't know. We'll see. All right, we'll come back down, like I said, in a couple days. We'll finish up filming, and again, comment below. Let me know what you guys think about the car.